Hey guys, welcome to the week. So we were just making a super delicious dinner and we thought we would show you what we got going on and tell you what we have going on for the week. So for the week we are doing a bread recipe and other shenanigans. And then for dinner we just got done pouring a sauce over this. This is shrimp with fresh basil, olive oil, garlic, and grilled, and then you top them. Marinate them for a little while, and then you get a little excess that goes over the top. And then Jason just made this guy, which is a flaky pizza. It was a BLT pizza, and we kind of just modified it, so it's our own little version, but it's going to be super, super delicious. And then we just made mocktails. So this is mint from the garden that we are super excited came back this year on its own. And this is strawberries and mint. So that was a kind of fun summer drink that we could incorporate into our dinner tonight.
Mojito mocktail.
Mojito mocktail.
And I'm going to drizzle some herb oil over this pizza as well. So it's going to be delicious. Basil and thyme and oregano and just a handful of stuff that I grabbed from the garden.
Yeah, so we love this season so much to have all the fresh herbs again and fun summer drinks. It's just really good. So, okay, let's get started. Good morning. So we realized that we actually can't show you any bread recipes this week because our bread flour is on order. So instead, we're just going to give you a whole bunch of random videos. And I was just getting my lunch ready for the day, and we pulled out the last carrots from harvest last year, and we thought that we would show you what they look like because we found this technique last year when we were trying to, figure out the best way to preserve the carrots. So this guy looks really great still. It has good form, like it's crispy, and it's not like slimy or anything. All right, so how we preserve the carrots is you take them out of the ground, brush off some of the dirt, but otherwise you just leave the dirt on them, put them in a bag, wrap the bag real good, put it in another bag. You can put them just in the back of your refrigerator. Otherwise, we put it in the back of our crisper drawer. And they stayed really good. About a couple months ago, I would say, we had brought a couple out and there was a little bit of like water residue maybe under the carrots. So we swapped out the bags, but otherwise we just wrapped them back up and put them back in the fridge. So it's been pretty close to 11 months since we harvested these. Yeah, just wanted to show you guys that super great technique and effective, which is nice. And then we also got some purple potatoes this week from our local produce store. And purple vegetables or fruits are really good for like reducing inflammation and heart health. The purple pigment, I believe, in them just has a natural healing for your body. So eggplant, we got purple basil this year, which we showed you guys last week, and then purple potatoes. I think there are purple carrots, which we grew last year or the year before. Broccoli. So yeah, we're excited for this.
So speaking of carrots, we got to weed these beds. Both of these beds with the carrots in them need some serious weeding, as well as some other beds. So here we go. I got to wear these gloves because of all these pickers. Once I get the pickers out, then I can get rid of the gloves. Gosh, there's so many though. All right, got the carrots weeded. Now we need this purple thing out of here. So this is apparently part of the nightshade family, which are poisonous. Fun fact, potatoes and tomatoes are also part of the nightshade family. So yeah, this is coming out now. Really, we're just gonna rip everything out that's in this area. All right, so here's one of the plants. So this is one of those plants that spreads underground. So I'm not gonna be able to get all of it, but if I can keep it under control from here on out, that'll be neat. All right, 10 minutes of weeding and we got this thing full. That looks a lot better. Carrots are ready to go. In fact, I think we're gonna pull a carrot just because these are so big. Let's see what this guy's got. No, it's not actually that big. So we're gonna leave them in the ground for a while yet. All right, got one more bed to weed. Wanna string the melons up on the trellis so that they start climbing up, and the squash. And we'll be done for the night. All right, we got this part weeded. For the most part. At least got them away from all the squash and melons. And now they're all pointing towards the trellis. Tomorrow we'll work on the tomatoes and peppers. But first I want to show you some cool 3D printing stuff that I've made in the last couple weeks. So we have a holding tank on our property, which means that all of the wastewater and gray water gets pumped into a tank, and then about every month and a half we have septic come and empty that tank. So to save on some of that cost, we collect some of the clean water that usually gets pumped into the tank. So what I have here is this bucket that we collect the water that pumps from our furnace. It's clean water, but I do save it and put it in our rain barrels or water the plants with it. So in the past, when this bucket fills up, sometimes this hose would float to the top and come out of the bucket, and then it starts getting all over the floor. So I made this little clip here that just clips onto the side of the bucket, and then it keeps the hose from falling out. This is the first prototype. I still have to refine it so that it keeps the hose in there better. So that's pretty cool. And then here's one from a couple months ago when I was still sick. So check this out. I made a new latch for this battery case for my neighbors on the 3D printer. They show you this. They brought over this piece. The other one had broken off, so he brought this over, and I was able to design a new one and created a whole new one. This was actually pretty challenging because this is a pretty unique. Here, let me see if I can get a good view of it, really, because it's a very unique shape. So it was a really good challenge for me to hone my skills. And I printed it out, and this is the second one that I printed. The first one was a little too loose, and this one is perfect. Nice click there, just like this one. Awesome. And then, real quick, I just made these, and these are going to help me in the shop. I'll show you how. So these will make it a lot easier to clamp things up when I'm using these long clamps. These do have feet on them so that they stay upright, but as you can see, this, if I'm only doing a short glue up, then it tends to do that. And sometimes if I'm doing a really long glue up, these don't sit on the table, and then they just roll around. So instead, we've got these things that these just sit in. And now I can easily clamp something up. And I made a bunch of these, so I've got enough for like six glue ups. So that's awesome. And one more for you. So I've had this little table for probably 15 years now. And for about 10 of those years, this little clip was broken, and I just made a new one. And what this clip does is allows me to break this table down, and that just clicks into there so that the legs don't go flaying when I move it around. And now it's fixed. That's awesome. I can use this table for another 20 years. I think that's all we got this week. You can see behind me I'm working on a project, so look forward to that. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Check you later.